Вон там, говорят, ловушка для крокодилов.
А вот мы вот здесь и будем, наверное, лодку спускать. А вот. Там что-то горит, вот, блин, какие.
Вот Новотел, а вот это вот наше здание. У нас 8-й этаж.
They do, don't they?
Oh, he's underneath.
I thought you were going in. Isn't that one with what? Just a few. Well, maybe that's what you do. One's a spotter and one's a... Yeah. No, she doesn't. I saw that. I think I'd be saying he can just stay there.
Гуляет там, она следит за крокодилом.
А знаешь, как они делают? Вот этот свой, у них пузырь есть. И вот они, перемещая его так вот, то может голову поднять где-то внизу, или там горизонтально, или наоборот.
If you can see again, we have our two keepers in the tent. So if you can hear our keeper Shania talking to
За это, наверное, $180, Катя. А то бы взяли и пришлось бы лезть.
На людях. Чуть ниже обшлись. Они там не могут погрузиться. Что-то они максимально посадили. Страховочки. Цепь. Это они на двоих $360 выпустили.
Every day was listening to spirit. Just don't know. Every day look at his tail. One day,
Одного осталось, да и 285.
Не дабл.
Если только один захочешь, знаешь?
Потому что одно погружение все равно. Можно эту щелку руку засунуть, пощекотать.
Нельзя. У нее камера на руке.
Сейчас все будут не на крокодила, а на нее смотреть, она задом ныряет. Есть вот это страховочный. Там просто жалко. Крокодил тоже.
Многие из них полечены, только, видимо, их вот здесь отлавливают это самое. И как только леченые, они вот сюда.
Ни разу не поел в этом случае. У меня как-то раз не побывает. Здесь опять у меня деревья. Тут как он опускает жарко. Здесь подбегает и поднял.
Как резко текуче.
Gonna eat you, Amy. Amy for lunch. Oh, he's got something hanging out his mouth.
Probably
String.
no.
Give him a high five. Look. He's here. Thank you. See, he's just sitting there. I gave him a high five. Look at his head. Look at his teeth. Oh, they're sniffing it.
Между зубов у него эта веревка там болтается. Мимо,
Рядом? А, вон. Вот, смотри, здесь идет.
Он типа на мотоцикле едет. У него свой маршрут. Он его объезжает. Слева больше. Во. Термитник. Будет еще?
Будет, да, я не знаю. Там.
Дыму, лес, дыму.
Горячий лес.
Вот термитник большой.
Ну там, который вот в этой, он, по-моему,
Вот еще.
искусственно сделанный. Он, видишь, они никакие не плоские.
Вон машина, видишь, проезжает. Эта дорога ближе куда-то, поэтому они ее используют. Хотя она бывает опасна, потому что здесь крокодилы прямо вот так вот переплывают.
Этим крокодил не страшны.
Они сами как крокодилы. Вот он лежит, крокодил. Это уже не зоопарк, это уже все настоящее. Это здесь речка, и дорогу сделали. Иногда эта дорога заполнена водой, когда много воды, то машины некоторые проезжают, некоторые застревают, некоторые проезжают. Когда если застрянет, опасно очень. Потому что здесь крокодилы переплывают туда-сюда. Тут, может, внизу где-нибудь и сидит. Но он один, он на солнышке лежит. Вот там видели, плавал. непонятно что. Рыбки, не рыбки, только прыгучие.
Самое главное, что они так двигаются.
Вот, плывет крокодил.
Это капуста не знаю.
Вот крокодил лежит здесь. Вот мы приехали
Вот какой интересный тот.
у Бир.
Розовенький цветочек. Вот такое растение, как цветочное.
Мгм.
Вот он, один цветок.
Ага, да-да.
Вот тоже интересное какое растение. И это тоже. Ничего.
Тебя не обогнать.
Вот рокгард пошел, да?
Мгм. Какие тут
Я думаю, рокгард сами на собачьи.
скалы. Вон.
Арт хренов. Ой, какое дерево нашли, видишь?
Мгм.
Для перил. А, нет, они его сделали так. Чё тут? Это как, знаешь,
Не было здесь наскальных рисунков.
Где?
Крик. Там была картина Монка, Крик. Потом Крик украинской матери там сейчас в последнее время тут делают. О, олень, видишь?
Олень.
Видишь?
Другой камень.
О, вот здесь зато красивый какой. Это самая крыша. Ну, видишь?
Угу. Вау. Там тоже нарисовано что-то. О, посмотри, стоять. О,
Ну.
так мы тут на камень залезли.
А там пройти можно?
Да, тут перила есть.
А
даже.
тут вот тоже рисунки есть. Археологи определили этим рисунком 5000 лет.
Ну, вот это вот. Как- Вот рисунки.
Такая навесная плита здесь. Вау.
На ту сторону надо пойти. И туда нельзя. Вон там площадка тоже хорошая. Вон там площадка хорошая.
Мы приехали на круиз. Поедем смотреть крокодилов.
Как тигров нас мы идем.
Да, вот все загорожено.
Тигры из клетки или клетки.
Загорожено.
Только
Только куда нам?
кого? А что здесь снимут?
Не, а тут вот это интересно бомбой.
Красиво будет.
Я-то у меня телефон плохо это. Я не могу. Это мы отсюда будем?
Так, посмотрели сюда все. Посмотрели, Коля.
Ага. Это, ну а здесь... Ну, еще и рано, да?
Раны. А он сидят белые, что, на ходу? Вот. Два штуки. Раз, два.
Да.
Мы идем до конца, и мы увидим, ну, как поближе.
Крокодил здесь.
Common related to the Weederdile as
Крокодил
well.
здесь. Вон он
It's a little less trying to saltwater crocodile, that one.
ждет.
Hopefully see a few more of them. In language, saltwater crocodile is ginger. The Estuarine saltwater crocodile. Again doing their usual thing. Nothing.
Привет, крокодил. Нет.
It'll be eating my words if he actually moves then. But,
Он там
yeah.
другой. Вон еще один.
The reason that they are on the bank doing well, nothing. Males will always be bigger than the females.
Дискриминация женщин, да? The males bigger.
Well, the big bird flying across there on the right, doing their usual nothing.
Вон там тоже.
How frequently do crocodiles need to eat? Once a week. So they can only eat their body length in kilos of meat a week. All these ones. I don't know if you can see in front, check that out. See the big bird in front there? The black and white one?
Да.
In front of the boat there. That's a jabberoo.
А, вон то.
Arm in front of us walking across big black and white thing. Jabberoo, or in language called Jagana. Its real name is the black-necked stork. Try and find you another one. There's quite a few along here. So I mentioned the hymen acne or
Лежит
this.
крокодил под деревом.
For this female saltwater crocodile, it's very useful stuff. She uses nest material during the breeding season, so that's December, January, somewhere there. She go up into the floodplain, usually a long, long way away, build a nest out of the grass, sometimes close to the bank, but always will that nest be on dry land, and always more dotterel flying away. If they don't, they can actually cook their brains. I was at the East Alligator River and at Shady Camp. The East Alligator River and at Shady Camp, there's two roads that cross the river. And the crocodiles have learnt that as the tide rises, runs over the floodplain there, runs over the road. We haven't spotted him yet. The big crocodile on the bank near these trees here. Oh, here we go. There's somebody who's found him. He's by no means the biggest in this area. We're actually going up towards the biggest.
Крокодил.
Still, some of the crocodiles that are named up here, we have the most unimaginative names you could possibly think of. One as we go further along, we've called him
Там
Bullfed,
другой вот.
because he's got a big head and we couldn't go up with anything else to cook. Boats, it's also one of the ways that they hunt. So in the water like this, they'll feel for vibration in a way that we simply can't. Yes, like if there's an earthquake, we'll feel that. Stand too close to a speaker, we'll feel that. Trucks going past, feel that vibration. Crocodiles can do.
Крокодил рядом
These are
лежит.
little birds.
И
There's the
птички
kingfishers.
тут.
Set, left. About your head height, the left. Set, bright red front to it. The Zua kingfisher.
Крокодил? Вот.
Это другое.
Кингфишер птицы такие.
Мгм. На
It's
дереве.
about your head height.
На этом дереве надо
It's about a metre or so off the water. They're right there. There's a bright sort of orange front to him. Another crocodile there in the bank there too. I get excited when I see
А вот
kingfishers.
наверное, такая цветная, красная,
Cool
синяя.
little birds.
А,
Alright, I'll move
малюсенькая
along.
такая.
Да, малюсенькая. А вот тут вот серая птица, большая сидишь. Вот на Сергея сейчас видно.
Still getting my eye out, see if I can see a bullfed. He's slightly bigger than those two. Around
Еще
that
два
4.5 metre
вот
mark.
лежат крокодилы.
And males are similar size, I'd say. Well, if you didn't get them this time, the other side will get them. I can almost guarantee you they won't move too fast. Due to the pigs. Wild pigs, buffalo will do it, horses will do it. Anything, unfortunately, with a hoof is considered a feral animal. Happy doing me to spin the boat. No. Getting the most unimaginative name. We've called him Van Gogh or Van Gogh. He's missing part of his ear and one side of his head. And yes, it has to be said. I've spoken to him about getting back into the art world, but he's a bit of a realist. But he does make an impression. But it had to be said. In the language, I call it Anabaru in the language.
Buffalo там. Buffalo.
I have to confirm with my colleague behind me.
Рушки.
Not sure if this one, if we've called this one John with 2 N's or if it's George.
Что делаю?
Moved up into the floodplain. Beautiful seeing all the dirt, the guts flying.
А тут лотос растет.
But all the species of lilies up here as well. Under them, that's the bigger white and flower. So I mentioned that it changes. Now, no, it's a big crocodile, it's not Van Gogh. Twice that. Huge
Еще один
crocodile,
крокодил.
pushing nearly 5 metres in length. It's enormous when he gets out on the bank. 2 more up
Видать,
further
там.
on.
А, да, он там. Угу. Три.
3 there.
Сейчас потише,
Back
ветра
in the
нет,
yellow
да?
water. In case you're wondering if why.
Вот мы и пришли. Залезли за километр, прошли 20 минут. 20 минут за километр. И вот мы что увидим? Никакой тут речки не видать. Где она? Не знаю. сгоревшая вот снизу, а вверху зелень.
Не везде.
Во многих местах.
И справа тоже не знаю.
Это мы въезжаем в парк. Wildlife парк.
Territory wildlife. Slow down. Slow. Visitor parking. Налево. Направо что?
Прямо вон туда, Вов.
Став, наверное.
И вокруг. Можем здесь?
А где вход?
Да,
Там
дальше.
дальше?
Вот сюда уже. А где сзади вход?
Entry там.
Ну, вот паркинг с этой стороны.
Давай сюда.
Куда? Туда, к термитам?
Presentation at a 1:15. So I know a few of you have bought wristbands to help us feed in this presentation, but you are in for an absolute treat. These guys are awesome animals. Not too much is known about them. We're still learning, and that's our freshwater whip race. And there are quite a few other species there that we'll be introducing and talking to you about as well. Really, really good show. Coming up next, we've got the Goose Lagoon. So this area is not touched by us at all. So we haven't dug out, you know, the depth to make it a bit deeper so it does hold water all year or made it any wider. It's purely what you see is what you get with this one. So it changes from year to year, season to season, month to month, almost week to week in some stages. Water crocodiles love those areas. And freshies, of course. But yeah, certainly not an area you'd go wading through. So it's a bit of a treat. That takes you then out to the very end, which has a bird hive sitting there waiting for you. So if you brought a picnic with you. But coming up next, we have our lovely buffalo family. So these guys were introduced by the English originally in the late 20s, early 30s for the Big River settlement there out of Coburg Peninsula. And they were brought over from Southeast Asia for their meat, their leather, and as a work animal, a workhorse. When that settlement failed, basically the gates were open, those guys went free because they're from Southeast Asia. Their climate being similar to ours, the buffaloes thrived and multiplied very quickly. So their only real predator at that stage was the crocodile and man. I'm going to introduce you to our herd of 7 here. So we have 2 females and 5 males. And we're going to pop out and see if they'll come over
2
with some
females and
carrots.
5 males.
Basically, we say our top end starts from the coastlines of Darwin and head for about 300 kilometres south. And that normally ends up being the cut and about. But very striking coloration of the lorikeets. Where are you two going, cheeky little ones? These are our red-collared lorikeets. Slightly different to the lorikeets that you'd see elsewhere throughout Australia. But just like the rainbow lorikeets, striking when they're out in the open. But when they go up into the treetops, they blend in really well. The green of their feathers blending in with their leaves and the bright oranges blending in with the flowers. And blending in with the flowers is important, especially since you spend most of your day eating from the flowers, I should say. But eating from flowers comes with challenges, especially when what they want to eat is the delicious nectar inside. And nectar, such a small portion of the flower, very hard to get to. So our lovely lorikeets, they've adapted and evolved, and their tongues don't inside. Now in our case, we don't have lorikeets inside our hollow, but a beautiful barn owl instead. Now owls, they are known as a nocturnal predator, so they like to sleep during the day and they wake up of an evening. However, if their food wakes up during the day, they're more than happy to wake up for a midnight snack. In my case, when I like to go to the fridge for a midnight snack, I'm looking for chocolate. That's my guilty pleasure. But for an owl, they're liking rodents. And they're very fussy. Oh, I might need him to come sit down for me, thank you. So, being such a fussy eater, they like to be known as a specialist hunter. So they're basically designed to hone in on that one particular prey. Being a raptor, it means that they're hunting using their feet. So their feet, 2 toes pointing forward, 2 toes pointing backwards, with a sharp talon on each. Built-in mousetrap right there. But obviously, hunting in the dead of night when you don't have hands and you can't use a torch comes with its own challenges, especially when you're hunting the smallest of food items. Oh, no, I didn't say that one. Can you let go of this one? Like I said, built-in mousetrap, very sharp talons. There you go. Thank you, Angel. Incredible senses. So, you're being silly today, thank you. Like I said, guys, it's going to be an entertaining show for you guys. Hearing, incredible. All the feathers that are placed on my owl's face are actually strategically placed there, almost like a satellite dish. So as sound's coming towards her, those feathers on the face are channeling it to go towards her ears. And her ears, if you're a rodent, that's not what you want. Very sharp talons today, aren't they, Angel? But perfect form of natural pest control. Basically, if you've got a bit of a rodent problem happening in your backyard, and let's be honest, living in suburban areas, we all do, instead of just setting yourselves alone for parasitizing other birds' nests. Now, what I mean by that is a female cuckoo, she'll actually go and lay her eggs in an unsuspecting bird's nest, and then expect that bird to not only incubate her eggs, but to raise them as if they were her own. Now, when a little cuckoo hatches out of her egg, she's got a savage task. It's her job to get rid of all the other eggs and all those original siblings. Because if she can get rid of the competition, Mum and Dad only have to focus on them. And that guarantees her a constant food supply. But this member is a pheasant cuckoo, and they're considered the only ones here in Australia that will actually raise their own young, and that makes them quite special. You can't go into my bag today. Very cheeky as well, as you guys can all see. Is considered to be a ground-dwelling bird, but as you guys probably have noticed, does have the ability of slight flight. Good job. What about over here? Excellent, Stellan. A little bit nervous today, having a lot of looks up in the sky. A lot of predatory birds around at the moment, especially with all the bushfires raging along. It's attracting all the kites. So the pheasant cuckoo does feel the safest over here, Stellan. Feels the safest being around the thick grass. And when they're around the thick grass, they're stirring up all the insects. And when they stir up the insects, it flushes them all out, and he has a great tail to be able to jump up in the air and catch all of these insect friends. That was a good jump. Can you do one more for me? Good job. I know there's a big crowd today, but those kids, they're not lizards for you to chase. Ready? Nope. Cheeky. But pheasant cuckoos, they do change their feather coloration twice throughout the year. During the dry season, they go this beautiful brown all over their feathers. And that's great for being able to lays a lovely bright blue egg. And it's none other than our emu. Emu are considered to be Australia's tallest birds. Look here, he's on the shorter end of the scale, just like me. But member of the ratite family, he actually can't fly at all. But evolution hasn't fully taken away his wings. This is all that remains of a little emu. I need you to step back for me, buddy. Not even big enough to fit into a KFC dinner bucket. But hey, why would you need wings when you got long legs like this? And these legs can get them up to speeds of about 48 kilometres per hour. Absolutely amazing. But when it comes to the breeding season, it's the guys that do a lot of the work this way. It is a flight path for a few of my birds down here, so I just need to make sure it's nice and clear. Does anyone belong to this little group down here? No? Sorry, excuse me guys, if you guys can move back up this way for me. Hi guys, can I get you to move back up this way for me? Thank you very much. Perfect. All right. Sounds like Jess is handling that for me. Thank you very much, Jess. So yes, no predators really for an emu, but environmental factors like bushfires will definitely play a part here. Up in the top end, we now consider emus to be vulnerable simply for the fact that we burn so much of our area up here, as you guys have probably seen for yourselves. But really, when it comes to wanting to see emus, your best bet to see those guys is in more of a semi-arid environment. So as you hit that Katherine region. And when you hit into that Katherine region, not only will you see heaps of emus, but you'll start to see quite a few big birds that like to eat emu eggs. And that is a black-breasted buzzard. Believe it or not, emu eggs are extremely hard to get into. And we don't have any raptors in Australia that can break into one using their beaks or talons alone. Not even a wedge-tailed eagle has that ability. But our black-breasted buzzard has an innate behaviour, purely instinctual, to be able to use tools. When buzzards are young, they like to experiment using all kinds of things. Sticks, leaves, nails from time to time. But eventually they realise that rocks have a good success rate. And he's in. So out in the wild, able to make a pinprick of a hole to be able to lap up that contents. However, we make these emu eggs on site, and it's more of a Kinder Surprise deal than anything else for our buzzards. But the only behaviour we have taught to our buzzard is how to pick up their rubbish at the end of the day. And it's definitely a lesson we can take with us. Good job, thank you. That wasn't a good catch on my behalf. But when you're going throughout the top end and you see large birds up in the sky, the best way to be able to identify one is by rolling. That was a bit silly. Your talon got stuck on my glove, Errol. Is by the white patches on the side of the wings there. Are you going to take off? We've got sharp talons today, Errol. I have to give those a bit of a trim. But the white patches there, we call them window looking at their tail. If it's got a bit of a fork shape on the end of the tail, chances are you're looking at a black kite. If it's got more of a rounded tail, you're looking at a whistling kite. But this member that's out and about at the moment is a Brahminy kite. Really easy to identify from the beautiful feather coloration, chestnut wings, white head and chest, and the fact that they like to go fishing. But when our Brahminy kite goes fishing, doesn't like to get her feathers wet. Instead, just skimming along the surface, picking food. They're also known as pirates of the sky, simply for the fact that if one kite gets itself a decent food item, instead of the other kites trying to hunt for themselves, they're just going to snatch off one another and steal. And that's not fun if you did all that hard work to start with. So our kites, they've developed the ability to be able to hawk. And that means capturing food on the wing, so as they are in flight, and then eating as they go. So you'll see him putting his feet directly up to his beak, The sooner he gets that food in his tummy, the sooner he's going to be nice and full. So it's smart. Definitely more of a drive-through kind of a bird than a 3-course meal. And it's smart as well because if you're eating on the go, you're not stopping and starting. And stopping and starting, it uses up a ton of energy. So eating on the go, you can never guarantee what birds you're going to get to see. So instead, we put the most iconic one in our show, and that is the black-necked stork. Perfectly designed for wading through the wetlands, long featherless legs, slightly webbed feet, perfect for distributing their body weight onto the mud. But these guys love to hunt for fish, and that long neck and beak, it gives them that reach throughout the water. But their neck and beak isn't their biggest feature, it's actually their wingspan. Beautiful long wings, tiny little tail. Means that she's not great at steering, and her wings really have to overcompensate. But while we've got her up so nice and close, you guys can see black-necked stork doesn't really seem like an accurate name for one of these birds since her neck is iridescent blues and purples. But it's the eye coloration that's going to tell you the most about them. Eye coloration is going to tell you the gender of the bird. So our beautiful, elegant, long-legged black-necked stork is named Harry, even though she's a mature female. But really hard to be able to tell the gender of a bird when they're young. Quite often it will take about 4 to 5 years for them to hit second raptor in the entire world. And remember, with the owl, raptors, they're animals that are hunting using their feet. Most fishing birds, like the black-necked stork, long necks and beaks to be able to give that reach. Going in feet first comes with a lot of challenges. And he's not just wanting to fish in your billabongs and your rivers. He heads all the way out into open waters where there's not a single tree to be perched on. And it really is none other than our osprey. Now, ospreys, honing on fish, absolutely a specialist hunter. You'd want to make sure you had a well-equipped tackle box to be able to do their job. And fortunately enough for them, they do. They are loaded with all the features required. So at the moment, going for a territorial flight, making sure there's none of those pesky kites that could come and steal his food once he gets it, and letting them know that the big dog's out for a play. Now, as he's flying overhead, he's also looking into all the water pockets. You ready for a dive already, Ozzy? Okay, that was quick. Stunning. Now, he does his dive really quick, so I don't blame you guys if you missed it. But basically, when he's flying overhead, he's looking into all the water pockets. It is a wild show, so if you guys get wet, apologies. And if you get pooped on, it's just considered good luck, okay? So as he's flying overhead, looking into all the water pockets, glare on the surface, quite polarizing to me. I need my sunnies to be able to have a look in what's going in there. But for him, he's got natural polarized vision. He doesn't need sunglasses. He's also got an excellent depth perception. Even if he was 100 meters up in the sky, he could try grab hold of that fish. Fish obviously like to wriggle. He has special tendons in each one of his toes that are going to lock into place. So as he starts to close his feet, they basically go click, 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 click into place until that's completely locked. Does not matter how much that fish moves, he's not letting go. And he's then going to fly a 2-kilometer journey, soaking wet, back home to his missus and his family, and everyone gets to share in the feed. Absolutely incredible birds. But Ozzy, he is quite a private eater. He does like to eat straight out the back. You guys may be able to see him in the dead tree out there. He doesn't like to eat in front of a crowd. It's like when you go to an Italian restaurant on a first date and you get spaghetti, just awkward and uncomfortable for everyone. But when Ozzy does decide to come home, he will be flying to this green pole just down here. And when he lands on top of the green pole, 9 times out of 10, his toes are still going to be locked into place. And you need to look at his feet to be able to tell himself to start to unlock each individual one, because he no longer has any food left in his feet. But it is Ozzy's time now. Ozzy, he's a veteran bird. He's been doing this for 20.
Это мы ходим в парке. Мы пришли в Гуслагун.
А, нет, это, наверное, знаешь, что, наверное, все-таки самки этих самых павлинов. Да?
А что, самцы с хвостами, что ли?
Ну да.
Да?
А ты думал, что самки?
Угу.
Красавицы. Нет, в природе наоборот.
Да.
Ничего себе.
И рыба,
Бараманди, да? Коль.
скаты, рыба и крокодил. Дохлый.
О, поплыл, так.
И рыбка поплыла.
Вот они, раз, два, три, 4.
Ну, надо одну на обед.
Удочку взял, Коль?
Нет.
Жалко. То б мы сейчас...
А вон еще какая-то рыбка. Не бараманди, да?
Да, небольшая полосатая. Я
У нас же так
небольшую
совпадает.
домой даже привез.
Они зеленые?
Я съел доход больше половины. Хорошо, сниму до конца.
Дождь пошел. Вау. Все, сейчас затопит нас. Ну все, сейчас крокодилы повылазят и будут так кушать. Все, закончится. Сейчас солнышко вылезет. Нет. Вот, поехали на сансетами. Встречать закат на море. Вон еще одна ждет. Там еще одна загружается.
Как курица. И что, вас заснять на фоне этого?
Мы там оттуда выезжали откуда-то вчера.
Угу.
400 метров.
И здесь.
А потом направо, а потом налево.
Нет, налево.
А сначала направо. Потому что налево мы вчера повернули, там парламент хаус был.
Хочу показать налево 200 секунд.
Не-не.
Прямо вообще, да? По этой прямо, судя. Потом направо, да, немножко.
Вот аборигенка идет какая. Красавица. Красивая девушка.
Сними меня, художник. Снимай.
Снимаем. Стой, 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 стой. Тут же это пешеходный этот. И налево тут, по-моему.
Да.
Да. Четкий какой костюм.
Чуть ли не трусы на лямке.
Это она доводит до середины эспланады гал. А надо 102, по-моему, да?
Да.
Мы пришли на берег посмотреть закат. Тут рядом с нами аборигены сидят, веселятся. И нас веселят. Там вышли на корабликах, тоже смотрят закат. Худенький пошел.
Oh, I don't think so.
So you got to be careful where you start the conversation.
You shouldn't have won it with the pose you had here.
Все, все посмотрели.
The
Теперь
Cowboys
все
come good again.
двинулись.
Sorry. It was actually a great game. Irrespective.
Ну вот, встал и стоит. Встал и стоит перед...
Давайте я вас фотографирую.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
Только посмотреть, остальные уже уходят.
Thank you very much. Сейчас еще одна встанет. Вообще не видно будет. А они, им все равно. Они, главное, смотрят, а другим не обязательно. Будет у меня его жопа на видео. Все, обтряхнулся, пошел.
Стал перед нами, расправился со своей хозяйкой, уложил его там, потрёсся и пошел. Это вообще.
Это казино. Darwin.
Дожди и жарко.
Приехали в Ботаник Гарден.
Стань сюда.
Вот.
Стань сюда.
Ага.
Просто сюда зовут. Community garden.
To get to the car park.
Листочки. Мы приехали на Куленбай. Это Марина.
Вон на рельсах, видишь, они лодки вытаскивают.
Да.
Здесь, наверное, знаешь, по-моему, здесь
Птичка вон расправила крылышки. Слушай. Крокодилище. И насрата собак. Никто не убрал. Красиво. Так, картина красивая. Вот здесь сидим. За тем столиком. Оля. Мы все выше тут.
Галя,
Да.
вот, Галя у нас вот здесь цвета спят.
Я в очках, я не могу поменять, у меня очки в машине. Здесь мы были. Что вы тут делаете?
А вот термит я голову снес.
И?
Там он ползает.
Да?
Термиты, да?
Okay.
Посмотри, внутри вон как он. Снес этот кусочек. А вон там.
Это термитник
Да. Термиты внутри.
с термитами.
Угу. Они солнца вообще боятся. Видишь, какие у них там какие-то помещения,
Да.
налеплены. Вот это они скоро залепят, сделают вот как здесь. Ночью может.
Ну-ка, встаньте, я вас сфотографирую. И туда дальше. Вон туда. Вот это источник сам. Сам источник. Rainbow Spring. Плавать нельзя. Вот он.
Ты была не хэппи с матрасом?
Да?
Я покажу тебе, какой будешь не хэппи.
Вот как здесь раньше жили.
Ну,
Женщина одна жила здесь.
вот,
Не знаю,
посмотри.
одна, не одна, но...
Это будет лучше тебе. Матрасик. Ложись.
Да.
И кресло ложись.
Ну, но с годами просто уже так это устарело. Может быть, новое, когда было хорошее.
Да, сено там у нас получше.
Ну, как она описывала все трудности жизни какие.
И от комаров ничего ты
Тут костюмы раньше висели, сейчас все убрали. Сейчас уже это даже не музей. Это караван-парк. Мы приехали сюда. Называется Big Four Holiday Паркинг, что ли? Как то же самое, что мы Порт Хьюз брали. Так, сейчас поедем, где нас там заселили. Вот, мы прибыли на место. Кабинка. Вот, тут рядом свиминг-пул. Так. Сейчас внутрь зайду.
В принципе, куда мы завтра? Вот этот гоч, вернее,
За кухонкой
Наша
тут
наука.
холодильник,
Там
столик.
лимит по времени есть сходить или нет?
да нет.
Нет?
Чем раньше, ну, сами. Просто сейчас
Сами
надо
можем.
посмотреть, куда мы пойдем, решим и уже потом распланируем.
Здесь
куда
душ,
идем.
Душ, туалет.
Вертолет новый.
Они как бы, они новые выглядят, да, вот эти?
Да, да.
И шкафчик.
Новые.
Шкафчик, тут даже можно как гладить.
Да, ну, может, я стану подумала, что свои А мне уже ничего не видно будет в видео. Все видно будет?
Сюда уже не видать.
Alrighty, so as you do get to each platform, guys, you will have to push out with some random people.
Mm.
So just like us, they get hot too, and they leave behind a sweat mark. So limestone is a very porous rock that is easily stainable. Now, if you're looking directly in front of us, you'll see our nursery. We call it that for obvious reasons. We have lots of little baby growth. So when a stalactite is first starting to form, it'll make a formation called a straw. Now, exactly like the name, hollow on the inside, all the way up. That solution will build from the inside down. Now, in some caves in the world, these can grow to over 1 metre long. However, definitely not in this cave, as they often get snapped off during floods, or our lovely little bats crash into them. Now, eventually they'll calcify over and that solution won't be able to run down the inside anymore. When that happens, our fastest growing structure because of how much of that solution is actually running through it. So it's definitely going to join together a lot faster than a singular stalactite and a stalagmite would. When it does, it's just going to have a cute little kink to it. Now, we do use that term as a bit of a loose term. It's not going to join together today on our tour, nor am I.
What this?
Hey,
What this?
this is that conure light I was talking about.
Thank you.
Yeah, so if you can imagine it's flashy, so I want to flash now. It actually makes its own channels, like this one just here. So this will go down about 30 metres that a person can fit through. However, the water will keep going. It will then reconnect to the water table at the end and go out to where it needs to be. There's also another one just directly in front of us. Again, goes down about 10 metres, but the water can keep going. So we always knew the water went from Beetaloo Basin to Mataranka Hot Springs, Bitter Springs to Little Old Cutter. However, they never always knew where the water went from here. So they decided to do a bit of an experiment. So they come down here with some really specialised red pondi. They poured it into the water, and about 2 weeks later that water came out of the Catherine Hot Springs. That's all well and good. We're in the Northern Territory where there's crocodiles everywhere. When your swimming hole goes bright red, probably a bit of an issue. Now here's hoping next time they do it, they either pick a better colour or they at least advertise that they're doing it so they don't scare all the swimmers again. Now if you're looking directly above us, you'll see this weird looking stuff. This weird looking stuff is petrified mud, and it's estimated to be about... So where that conure light was? Right there. Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh, what is that? Yeah.
It spread its roots about 7 k's from the base of the tree. Now during COVID times, because we had absolutely nothing better to do with ourselves, we did try and locate this one. Unfortunately, that is a lot of ground to cover and we weren't able to find it. But we are assuming that due to that deterioration of the tree roots down the bottom, it's most likely died. So this can go one of 2 ways. One way being it'll calcify over and become part of the cave wall. The other way being that it'll actually fall through and create airflow through here. So if that airflow was to be through here, it'd be a pretty detrimental effect. Body, fluffy mane, pointy ear. If you're looking directly in front of us, in the red you'll see a kangaroo. So we got his head, his ear, his front leg and his body. In the white you've also got little old Australia. Probably should have trademarked this one, it looks awfully like the Qantas symbol. However, my 2 favourite ones are just behind you. Sorry, Tom.
No Tasmania there.
No Tasmania, unfortunately. Now we've got our upside down dragon with his long snout, his eye, and his spikes running down his body and tail. We've got my personal favourite, old mate Elvis Presley. With his beautiful hair, his big long sideburns, his nose, and his big puckered lips. Now, in case you don't know who Elvis Presley is, you all just paid for a cave tour to come and see Donald Trump. If you didn't see any of them today, it's probably a good thing. Means you're still getting oxygen to your brain. Now, as we head off.
Сейчас будем пролазить между камней.
Деньги возвращать уже не будет. Сейчас я не пролез. А есть люди, которые сильно вряд ли пролезут, да?
Тут надо между камней пролазить. Ты-ды. Ты-ды-ды. Так.
Только вот, может, назад сними меня, как видно.
Сейчас.
Одна голова.
Сейчас. Давай.
Видишь, я пролезаю.
Это Вова пролезает.
Показывай как. Тогда будет видно, что.
Угу.
Потому что когда вперед снимаешь, не видно.
Так, мы идем это назад. Назад. Угу. Давай. Вау. Нас тут напугали, прежде чем заходить. Угу. Так. Тут прям блестит все.
Второй пролаз включился.
Так, опять тут надо пролазить. Раз, два, три. Угу. Опа. Так, сейчас мы посмотрим, как там. Все. Да.
Вот этой обратной свинки будет достаточно.
Can we go?
We'll just hang here and wait for everyone.
Okay.
Then we'll head out.
Все. Выход. Да. Гора напротив. И вода такая чистая. А как эта речка, интересно, называется? Еще раз видео сделаю. Вон вертолет полетел. Кто-то на вертолете все смотрит. Вот сейчас мы в другое место приехали, в Катерин. Глубоко тут?
There was ice on the windscreen. I didn't have a credit card out. Then there was about 3 inch of icicles hanging on the camp kitchen tap, and then about 10 foot of the water hose was frozen. Oh, back on, the middle of the bloody table. I don't know. You're looking at the weather forecast. You've got Melbourne 5 degrees till 15 degrees. Yeah. Alice was -5, so it's to 15 degrees. There's 1 degree warmer.
Там есть еще дальше. Сейчас пройду. Далеко, далеко, далеко. Люди идут. Тут еще дальше есть. Вот. Тут купались, туда перешли. Тут еще долго туда надо идти и все это больше купаться. Много здесь места. Вот в полосатых купальниках. Все, там мы все прошли. Иди, я догоню. Ага. Тут. И вот оттуда, где мы были.
We enrolled them into like a distance ed program, and after it's just too difficult with being on the move, travelling days.
Видео.
Daily 5.5
Huh?
Пришли закат посмотреть. И там еще кое-что.
Probably.
Well, he's got a mind of his own. He can do what he wants.
I'm filming this.
Wow.
To let know it's real.
That much bigger one before.
Right.
That much 3 meters.
I don't have X-ray vision either. We're all in the same boat.
We are inside.
Now, Roger here. So front row staying seated, please.
Yeah, but I can see.
So Roger here is what we refer to as a rogue male. Now Wakai, who we were looking at, he's a dominant male. Now they both are sexually mature males. The difference is Wakai has his own territory, Roger does not. So Wakai, like I said, he's about 4.5 meters. Roger here is just a little bit over 4 meters. And you're looking at least 100 kilograms of weight difference between them. It's not much of a contest going on. If Roger were to go into Wakai's territory, there's going to be trouble, and there's not much that Roger can do about it. So what he's got to do, he's basically got to keep moving while trying to find enough food to get big enough and get strong enough to compete with those dominant males like Wakai. And the cherry on top here is that Wakai is the smallest dominant male we work with. So Roger's got a ways to go. So Wakai's kind of like the smallest bloke in the heavyweight division. It doesn't mean a lot to you and I, but amongst the big guys, he's the little guy. And you know, Roger's in the next weight division down. So he's trying to bulk up, he's trying to work on his size to be able to compete with the big guys. Yeah, they keep growing their whole life. So the larger and older they get, though, the slower they grow. So Wakai is maybe growing a few centimetres every year, but Roger should be growing a bit quicker, hopefully for his sake. What you doing, Rog? Now, we're not in Wakai's territory right now. We're actually in Stumpy's territory. But I'm pretty sure I did see him when we were much further back upstream there. So shouldn't be close enough for Roger to be getting spooked by Stumpy.
The whole thing coming in Terra, there's no free spots.
There's not a lot of free space in places with as high a population density as the Adelaide River.
In an area with a lower population density, you certainly do have smaller dominant males than the likes of Wokkai, and you also often see larger territories in those areas with lower population density. But there's lots of crocodiles here, which makes it very tough for young fellas like Roger. Quite frankly, he's still at the stage where he's more likely to get killed by another adult male than he is to reach full size. It's not easy unless you are right at the top. Quite interestingly as well, in all crocodilian species, the boys get bigger than the girls, and Roger is larger than the females can get. The girls grow to about 3 meters. Like I said, he's a little bit over 4. But if one of Stumpy's girlfriends were to come over right now, Roger would probably run away. Because even though he can beat her in a fight, that's not an issue. If there's a commotion happening in Stumpy's territory, he's probably going to come and investigate, isn't it? And so, alerting Stumpy to your presence when you're a young fella is not very smart. So he'll even run away from fights that he could win because there's more risky implications. More dangerous possibilities. That's a better way of putting it. But Roger's definitely doing well for himself. He's missing the tip of his tail, but he's otherwise fine. I don't think he's missing any of his legs. Missing legs and missing tail tips are pretty common injuries for adult saltwater crocodiles to have. Wokkai's missing the tip of his tail. Knuckles, one of the other big fellas we work with, is missing the tip of his tail. It had only very recently happened when we first started working with him too. So when we first saw Knuckles, there was like a bit of like tail knuckle bone poking out of the wound, which is where he got his name from. And Stumpy's missing 2.5 of his legs. Mama's missing 2 legs. Hunchback's missing a leg. I know it's not doggy dog, it's crocky croc. Yeah. And you know that one's Roger. I'm just making it up. I thought it sounded like a fun story to spin. No, the first clue as to who we're looking at is location. The adult males are fiercely territorial. You don't expect to see other mature males in someone else's territory or see him outside his own territory. Now that's not particularly applicable to Roger. Like I said, he's a rogue. He doesn't have his own territory. These young fellas do tend to travel around quite a bit. But the girls also typically don't stray too far from where they like to build their nests, even when it's not the breeding season. But yeah, like I said, location's not helping us with Roger. So other things we can look at are size, colour, other identifying marks, and even their behaviour can tell us exactly who we're looking at. Toes when you popped out? I'm sure your mum would be happy about that. Have a look at him in a moment. Very, very cute little baby. And I can almost guarantee that you will never see a crocodile that's a natural predator out here. It can hide. It can run up into the bushes. It can disappear under the water. It can hide from us and feel safe and not be stressed out. Can stand up now if you like. If Wokkai caught me, he would not death roll me because it's not worth the effort. He doesn't need to do that to be able to kill me. If Happy Feet caught me, she probably would. But she wouldn't be swimming over to me at top speed if I was in the middle of the river. So more succinctly, the scariest thing about crocodiles to me is that they will figure out the smallest amount of energy required to catch and kill you, and that's what they're going to do. It's not even scary to me that I'm a natural food source for Happy Feet. And so are you. You're not special though, you're just made of meat. That's the only criteria you need to fill. But what that also means is that it's really easy to not get eaten by a crocodile. Because, they live in the water, we live on land. It's not rocket science. They don't stalk people in dimly lit car parks or follow them up to hotel rooms. About 95% of croc attacks happen when people are in or next to the water. And the other 5% of attacks are when people are camping too close to the water and not properly disposing of things like meat scraps and meat packaging, which attracts the crocodile further away from the water than what they'd otherwise usually go. So crocodiles are very scary, and we are a natural food source for them. But how many people do you think get killed by crocodiles each year in Australia on average? About 3? Anyone else?
2.
2? 1?
0.
How many? What? 1.5? I mean, half might sound funny, but that's actually been the closest, or almost the closest. 0.8. 0.8. So there's less than one person.
Да. Она принимает это ноги немножко
А
подлиннее.
вот такую горелку, это так или ты где-то нашел?
Собирал?
Не, я покупал.
Где ее можно взять такую? Баннингс?
Я не знаю. Не, у Баннингс не купишь, есть только один магазин. Я должен одну купить.
Это специально для вока, наверное, горелка.
Да.
Для вока.
У меня побольше одна есть
Industrial,
тоже.
знаешь, такие,
Вот так это это на...
Оно вот здесь прикрученные они?
Да. Это на 8, на 10, а у меня там, наверное, на 15 или на 20. Что там?
Ну, у нас,
Как
да, у нас, в принципе, есть горелка, как у мамы была.
Мураш, до сих пор чухаюсь.
То, что у мамы была такая горелка, ее можно тоже поставить туда больше.
Ну, у мамы стоит сзади. Я сделал.
У нас есть она большая.
Но если хотите такое, я должен купить. Я один женился, друг. Я сказал, я.
Alright guys, welcome to Crocodiles Park. My name is Tyson, I'll be your guide for today. Welcome to Badlands Lagoon. Now in Badlands, there is roughly about 40 to 45 saltwater crocodiles in here, ranging about 1.5 to 2 metres long. This is the sort of size you don't want to go swimming with folks because they will bite your fingers and toes off. Anyone been here before? Yeah, that's a shame I can't make stuff up. A little bit of history about Bel-Airs. It was actually just built as a pond just to hold a bunch of crocodiles. Even though there's 40 crocs in here, a long time ago it used to hold well over 100 crocodiles plus. And this was back in the days due to farming. So most of our Bel-Airs, the boardwalk, all those raising pens was the only thing built in Crocodiles Park plus that big lagoon at the back. So it was just a farming pretty much from park until roughly in 1994 we were looking ways to fund the research. We thought, why not open it as just a park to the public and actually have about saltwater crocodiles? Because back in those days, if you said it was a saltwater crocodile, then they'll go, huh? So now we're educating people all around the world about these apex predators. Because during the 50s and 60s, these crocodiles were nearly hunted to extinction because of that belly skin. There was no farming back in those days. So anyone could find a croc, what they'd do is get their guns out and they'd go, that's one, bang, got one. Hey, one's still moving, I just shot him. So keep going. And because their brains are the size of a walnut or a peanut for some crocodiles, if you did miss hitting the brain, they would keep going. So you've probably seen some crocodile skulls with more than 3 bullet shots to its head. Even though it looks pretty weird, it's still kicking fine. So back in those days, in the 60s, roughly a square centimetre of belly.
They shouldn't have been, they were too close to homes, taking livestock, attacking pets, or anything like that. So crocodiles are really hard to relocate. You can't just take one out of a place that they've deemed their home and put them in a different river, because they will travel all the way back home. It doesn't matter how far away you take them. Scientists haven't really understood the fact of how they know how to navigate themselves, but they will travel all the way over land just to get back home as well. One of our scientists actually tagged and clawed a crocodile from Cape York, took him 600 k's south, and within 3 months that crocodile made it all the way back home and was found on the opposite side of the bank where he was caught from. These guys are extremely smart, even though their brain is no bigger than the size of a walnut, and for the females it's the size of a pea. These crocodiles do use 80 to 100% capacity of that brain at one time, whereas people, we only use like 25, 50%, me 1%. Yes, these ibises, because this is the largest still body of water in Holmes Jungle. Holmes Jungle is all that bushland at the back there that goes back onto the Darwin Tip and Shore Bay Conservation Reserve. That's why we do have a large variety of bird life here. Birds do get eaten by the crocodiles all the time. Unfortunately, it's something natural that happens out in the wild, and it is definitely something natural that happens here. One of our crocodiles was actually smart enough to head back to the bottom of a tree. The nest fell out, she ate all the babies. Something, but it does happen.
Птички.
The biggest crocodile that we do have in here is about 4.9. I think the biggest female we've got in here is about 3.1 as well. The girls don't really grow over 3.5 metres if they get to their, or if they're lucky enough to get all that big. The crocodiles over in Indonesia are a lot bigger than the ones here, only because they've got a lot more food source. So the more you feed a crocodile, the more they're able to eat, the bigger and faster they can grow. The ones born in captivity are definitely bigger and a lot, like they live a lot more than the ones in the wild. Is he gonna pull up the boat? Generally she is actually a really lazy crocodile. So she'll wait until my arm, or she'll actually wait until I get annoyed and I'll just slap the water right in her and she'll quickly grab it.
That's close.
Yeah?
Make sure you're watching your head, That's about 1.5 tons of jaw pressure. The male's got a... Is she on the other side there, by any chance?
Can't see that.
You know, those bumps are actually created from her walking on.
What's blue?
You know, these guys are almost nocturnal as well, so during the day their eye is a little bit of a slit. It looks like a cat's eye, but at night, this girl will literally sometimes wait until I get annoyed. I'll put it real close to her and she'll grab it so quick. These guys are able to move faster than what we can blink as well. She's got her eye on something else. You know, when they are ready, they'll just put their head a little bit up, but she's playing me, and she's good at it too. Make sure you guys are watching your heads and everything. Yep. Right here. Yeah. She's got her mouth a little bit open.
Что-то я не знаю. Экран. Не убирай ничего. Все нормально.
She's not interested in jumping up at all. Like, you can sort of predict them, but because they do everything at chance, it's kind of like you just gotta play with them.
Ну, хорошо, все видно.
You know, these guys' eyesight, they've got excellent eyesight. You know, when you're looking for a pair of binoculars, that's sort of how a crocodile sees. So their eyesight is kind of binoculared, but they have got excellent colour vision, which is why vibrant colours and bright colours really do attract them. I had one lady come on here, she had like really bright pink hair, and this crocodile around the other side, Emily, she was just so in tune with her and her hair, it wasn't funny, and I was starting to get a little bit worried. It's like, can you sit more on this side?
Это книги. Ой, поймал.
Yeah. That's Teddy up there. He's our second largest male in here. Now the males don't really mature. I just need to hold that real quick for me. Thank you. Sorry, I was Don't lose my stick. You lose my stick. You're going in there.
Тебе видно было, нет?
Да.
Она говорит, туда нет, не видно.
Бери руки. Руки убирайте. Вот здесь руки убираем, прыгает.
See that plate on the top of her head there? It's kind of like just pretty much protect their real small brain. Here you go, here you go. See you later. I'm not lying. It's done now. Just got your phone there. Oh look, you watch short side vision, they're not that great, but long side vision, they're pretty cool. Alright guys, we are going to head back to the program, so I do hope you really enjoyed that.
После обезьян, волка.
Тут крокодил наверху лежит. Вот он, с открытой пастью. Ага. Может, его там кормят? Это мы приехали, над морем ехали. Это называется, по-моему, Night Cliff.
Зимняя рыбалка.
Такой небольшой парк. А Джеки? Джети. И никто не купается даже.
В воде. Вот сюда становись просто.
Смотри, какие там листья, лианы или что-то.
Ага. Там мы идем на каскад. Каскейд. Low level. По такой вот дорожке. Все песок.
Вот подожди, стой еще.
Нам еще туда.
Вот так вот.
Телефон снять. И за цепь держись.
О, Господи.
Вот мы все идем, мы идем, мы идем, мы идем. Идем, идем, идем. И скоро там, где можно будет купаться.
А где она купалась? Здесь, между камней?
Наверное.
Вот здесь он купали. Вон эту шляпу оставили.
Вот еще молодые.
Вот не они, кто-то оставил, да. Вот здесь, хотите купаться?
Вода красная.
Попробуй много.
Мы приехали на Ванги Фоллс. Посмотрим, как здесь. Ну, люди, видно, что купаются тоже. Сейчас мы и будем купаться. Парк неплохой. Можно посидеть, кушать, и барбекюшница уже есть. О, free Wi-Fi. Вот он водопад. Вот мы приехали на Бамби-фон. Это чистое, ну здесь глубоко, наверное. Люди купаются. Много рыбы здесь. Вот написано. И когда здесь дожди, здесь бывают крокодилы. Вон даже кто-то подплыл под водопад. Вон там. И вон сидят люди. Переплывают это. Это вот дорожка потом назад.
Вы встаньте, а я...
Это Флоренс Холл. Люди купаются. Мы уже покупались. Поплавали. Водопад там Люди тут вокруг сидят, кто в водичке, кто где, кто на камушках. А сюда мостик, чтобы покупаться. Мы приехали посмотреть, какие термитники бывают.
А они закрыты заради.
Да.
Отсюда смотришь, и все, а там...
Такой вид, как будто кладбище. Кладбище термитников. Кладбище. Так.
А? Ой. Неинтересно. Вова, вот сюда.
Там дыры там. Она...
Сегодня у нас ужин в ресторане. Это напротив. Вид.
By the way, I said yes to Jan that we'll go to the hot springs. So I gave it to her back. So she was going, no, okay. With me,
Закрывается она. Открывай электрификатор. Ниже там.
Вот они выплывают.
I know. Я поранилась.
Легким паром.
Классная вода. Давай. Давай, давай, давай. Вот после бани бы в такую, а? Я вам нахвалил воду специально. Да, чтоб не
Надо было вот
вот
так надо было.
Далее, я тоже боялся. Давай руку и проходи здесь нормально.
Вот тут там камни, невозможно пройти.
Вот так, Галя.
Это все нормально.
Они скользкие.
Вот так иди, вот так.
Ау!
Ну вот, вы этот камень выйди небольшой.
Как Вова шел, точно, ты иди так же.
Да, бодрящая. Бодрящая вода. Вот. Потом проводит руки через книги и все.
Как, Галь?
Хорошо. Знаешь, я прям запарилась, вот так хорошо тут.
Да, постой здесь, я накину.
Да, нормально.
Следующий термитник, которому, по-моему, 300 лет, что ли. Там верхушка уже рассыпается.
Вот на этом мы пойдем, посмотрим закат. Выйдем в море, нас там будут кормить. Он один уже отчаливает. На солнце.
a brief commentary. Directly opposite, right over the very far side of the harbour there, that massive big processing plant, all those huge concrete tanks, that's INPEX. And basically what happens over there, that's the termination of the subsea gas pipeline that comes in from the Pilbara region of northwestern Australia. It's a very good indicator of the healthiness and the biodiversity of the harbour, all these big apex predators cruising around. Forests themselves, major defence against coastal erosion. They're a
И где ты был?
Я пил.
Here's your grumble, thank you.
Это уже вторая. Я там уже, я сидел там, наверное, 15 минут. Я ждал вас.
Так? Сейчас я вас сфотографирую. Подожди.
Видео снимаешь?
Ага.
Это Коля пошел купаться. Все.
Далеко. Люди идут. Тут дальше есть.
Помашите Кате. Вот мое сиденье мокрое, помыто.
On average, that popping sound can make about 2 or 3 tons of force. Strong enough to crush bone like it's nothing.
Ничего себе.
Alright guys, moving on to the next crocodile. This crocodile has got 2 eyes, but he has
Зубени.
legs as well. His name is Lazy Muscles. He's on the bank.
И что ты ждешь?
Hence the name Lazy Muscles. He does fuck all. I'll let you go in. On average, that popping sound can make about 2 or 3 tons of force. Strong enough to crush bone like it's nothing.
Ничего себе.
Alright guys, moving on to the next crocodile. This crocodile has got 2 eyes, but he has
Зубени.
legs as well. His name is Lazy Muscles. He's on the bank.
И что ты ждешь?
Hence the name Lazy Muscles. He does fuck all. I'll let you go in.